athletes, it's DC here with Genesis Strength TV and InsaneFootballTraining.com. Wanted to give you guys today 6 reasons why you are not putting on size no matter how hard you work out. Tip number 1 is you are probably not training heavy enough. What that means is you are probably doing more of a bodybuilding type routine, and as backwards as that sounds, those type of routines where it's 8 to 10 to 12 reps, where you're not working heavy enough in that 3 to 5 or 1 to 5 rep range, those type of routines are not going to put on the size needed and develop the strength needed that's going to give you that size to make sure that you are getting stronger, which in turn is allowing you to put on that size needed. Number 2, you are probably changing programs way too often. Back when I first got started, I was kind of the same way, where I would read. I love reading and learning more about this, and every time something new or quote unquote improved would come in, or I would learn about it, I would try it that next workout, and I was constantly changing programs and constantly never getting any results. I wasn't getting any stronger and I wasn't putting on any size. So make sure that you are running a program at least 3 to 6 to 8 weeks, depending on what your schedule looks like, what your goals are, and what you will be doing, if you're going into season or not. Here in the facility with our football players, we typically always run them no less than a minimum of 3 weeks, and hopefully we're able to extend that maybe with some small adjustments, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and we've even done 8 weeks sometimes to make sure that they are getting exactly what they need. Tip number 3, as a reason why you're probably not gaining any size, is you are not sleeping enough. The body has to rest in order to recover, grow, recharge, and replenish. It's not the amount of time that you spend inside the gym that's going to get you bigger or get you stronger. It's actually going to be the time you spend outside the gym, and if you're doing it correctly, and the best way to do that is by sleeping. Most high school, junior high, or college football athletes, they have a problem where sleep is not an important thing to them, and so because of that, they get home from practice, they study, they do all their stuff, 10, 11 o'clock, midnight rolls around, and they are still up, they are still, doing things like Facebook, they may be studying, probably not, they're on Twitter, they're playing video games, they're just watching TV, and then they go to bed at 1 o'clock, 2 a.m., and then they wake up at 6, 7 a.m. the next morning and kind of repeat that process where they're only getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep. That is going to definitely not even just hinder your results, but also maybe even have you go backwards to where your body's so drained and so worn down that you are getting overtrained. You increase that chance for injury, and you run that risk of never getting results and not being able to work as hard and produce as hard as you can. So, the recommended hours that you should be of sleep that you should be getting are between 7 to 9, and preferably if you are an athlete and you are working that hard and practicing and doing all that extra work, 8 to 10 is what's going to be optimal for you to be able to do what's needed and get the most out of your training, get the best results possible, and get bigger. Reason number 4 as why you are probably not gaining size as a football athlete is you are not eating enough. Yes, the first thing you're going to say that all our athletes come in and say is, well, last night I had 8 double cheeseburgers from McDonald's, and I had fries and a shake and whatever. And then the question we always follow up with that is, well, what did you eat the rest of the day? And then it becomes, well, breakfast I had some Pop-Tarts, and then lunch I skipped or had a cheeseburger. Didn't eat anything from lunch till practice, till after working out until dinner, and then didn't eat anything after dinner all the way, went to bed hungry and didn't have anything till that next breakfast. So even if you're thinking that you're having one, huge meal and eating a lot each day, you need to take that huge meal and do that 3 to 4 times a day to make sure that you are getting enough calories in, especially as a football athlete, to gain weight. So if you're not doing that, start doing that, and then especially if you go into 2-a-days and practices, on top of that, you're gonna have to eat even more. Tip number 5 as to why you are probably not gaining size as a football athlete is you are not doing any type of soft tissue or recovery work. What soft tissue work is stuff like massages, foam rolling, the lacrosse ball, that type of stuff that's going to allow the muscles to open up, to kind of unbind the joints to get open, so that there's room for those muscles to grow. For example, you've seen all the guys that train in the gym or you play sports with that kind of have those sunken shoulders because all they do is bench. They have, it's a real tight upper back, they're sunk here, and they always complain that their bench doesn't get stronger, their chest isn't growing, and it's because no matter what they're doing, if they're in this position, they have no room for that chest to grow because it's all bound and all tied together. So by performing soft tissue work in the shoulders and upper chest, and the rear delts and the back to open it up and get those shoulders open, now that chest, the pec muscles have a space, have room to grow and develop and get stronger and just continue to increase in size. So make sure you're performing things like I said, foam rolling, lacrosse ball, in your trigger points, massage therapy, that type of stuff is what's going to allow those muscles to grow, get the blood flow in, help with nutrient partitioning, and really help with recovery to allow maximal growth, maximal strength increases. Finally, the sixth reason that you're probably not gaining size or putting on quality strength as a football athlete is you're not performing those good, quality, heavy compound movements like barbell, deadlift, overhead press, bench press, squat, any of those type of movements. You're typically leaning more towards machines, towards isolation movements, and that type of stuff is not going to put on the size at all or near as quickly as it would if you were in there crushing lifts and crushing exercises like squats, different squat variations, front squat, barbell back squat, box squat, Zercher squat, any of those type, heavy, hard, that really force your body to work and to adapt and to change. Deadlifts, snatch grip deadlift, regular deadlift, trap bar deadlift, all your presses, overhead presses, bench presses, low incline bench presses, all those things where you're going to be moving a lot of weight. It's going to take the entire body to struggle, to force to be tense, so that weight can be moved correctly. Those are the type of compound movements that you need to be doing consistently in your training program to make sure that you are getting maximal results and be able to put on the size. So if you haven't had a chance, check out the link below. Subscribe to the videos, click on the InsaneFootballTrainingBlueprint.com. Make sure you pick up your free football training cheat sheet that will help you get the results that you need. Now you guys know, and knowing is just half the battle.